Hey guys, this message is just for the chosen ones amongst you, the black sheep. On my channel I call you the golden child, not the black sheep because it seems to have some sort of negative attachment to it, right? Oh, that's the black sheep of the family, and that's a concern all in itself, but we won't go there. That's not what this message is about. This is just for the chosen ones. There's gonna be no visual stimulants over and over again, and I'll get into that as well, that there'll be no visual stimulants to keep you here. What will keep you here is if this message is for you, is truly for you. So if you have been going through a negative time the last couple of months, let's say, this is different from the last couple of years what you've been going through it, right? Because you've gone through your awakening and you have said, okay, I've gone through my awakening, so now I'm on track, right? And nothing else is going to happen to me, or I'm going to be making the right decisions. We've all been there, done that. There's nothing wrong with that. We're here to learn and be tested. So over and over again, we will be tested. Just like in this video, if you like. Because part of the problem, it's not that the powers that be, if you like, or that's working against us is not allowing the right message to get out. It is. They can't do things without telling us, and they can't really stop the right message getting out either. So the right messages are getting out, but these things that are here to stop us getting the right messages, they're also putting the wrong messages out there. It's nothing new. It's always been that way, and there's always a few like yourself, if you're still here, the chosen ones, who it can at times feel like you're fighting against it on your own, but I'm here to show you that you're not fighting against it on your own. We're all in it together, the collective. I don't know if you've seen my it was Divine Feminine's channel interviewing me, that podcast there, talking about the collective and us working together. And I said I even include her as the divine partner to work with, rather than just a divine romantic partner. We are all working together and supporting each other and lifting each other up, so that we are working together. So don't think that you're all on your own. I know the last couple of months has probably felt like you're on your own, but that's because there's people around you that are working to throw you off course, throw you off track, to keep you away from your calling, as well as like I say, the powers that be, we'll just say that, right? That are working to keep the energy of the earth at a low vibration. Those people are creating, the opposite, because the lower vibration is powerful as well, and it works for them. It keeps people in order, if you like, from waking up and not wanting to, and keeps them trapped in fear. So I want to show you how they keep you trapped in fear, or from moving forward, locked up, and how it's easy, even as a spiritual being, to fall into these traps, right? And to keep you down and to keep you negative. So let's just pick any deck. What happens is we get this flash of information over and over like this really quickly, right? One after the other, and we get used to things going really quickly and wanting stimulants very quickly. And then our being gets used to wanting that information very quickly, like instant messages. And, you know, we have, you know, it's even called iMessage, isn't it? Instant messages, Instagram, those sorts of things. Now, the first thing I usually tell people when working with them is, you know, to step away from social media for a little bit, because all that information that's going in very quickly, and this is why I didn't want any stimulant in this video, you know, to be flashing up. They know that we get used to those, say, 10-second stories, right? Now all the platforms are doing them. So YouTube as well, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, we have these 10-second stories. And have you ever gone down the rabbit hole in one? And it's not that it's not what you like, they will find what you like, the algorithm finds what you like, so it will give you that, and then you'll have this quick 7 seconds, 10 seconds of scrolling. And I never ever used to look onto these things, except for one day I was waiting to travel. So it was like the day before I traveled, and I started watching the YouTube ones. And I'd arranged to go to my son's house, and I pulled up outside his house, and I just started flicking through. And then my son knocked on the car, and he said, "Are you coming inside?" And I said, "Yeah, I've just pulled up here." He said, "No, you've been parked outside 8 hours." And I looked up and it was dark, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I just get lost in that for so long? And I was like, and I went in and I spoke to my daughter-in-law, and I said, I know why, you know, people start to feel depressed about themselves and get lost, and they're not productive in their day. Firstly, we get told there's 24 hours in a day, right? So you don't mind wasting 8 of those hours, or whatever it is, 1 of those hours, looking at, you know, this social media, because, you know, you're just having some downtime, or there's nothing for you to do, right? And you get lost in looking at these girls and guys' bodies. Obviously they call them thirst traps, or you get lost in looking at things to do with spiritual awakening, things that you like, or things that you're interested in, but they're just so quick that the attention span is not very long. And plus it makes you feel negative about those things that they're telling you is wrong with you. Now, probably 99% of the world don't look like those on those, you know, shorts or thirst traps, whatever. I remember when TikTok first came out, my own mother was like, hey, you should get on TikTok. There's so many gorgeous guys on there. And I just laughed it off. And because you guys know, I wasn't really on TikTok until like a few months ago when I started posting there. And because I was just like, oh, let me change platform, and I didn't really know what it's about. So when I have started posting there, and I've seen, okay, so you can post up to a 3-minute video and they don't really catch on. But if you post 7 seconds, and that's because that's the agenda they want to push, the videos will do really well. So if we've got this, because what's happening here is your consciousness and things like that gets more blocked out the more 3D stimulant you have going on. So when we're told to pray, to meditate, and you know, and you find it difficult to pray or to meditate because there's other things flashing in your mind, because as well as that, we have everyday concerns, right? Like we've got to pay the bills and things like that, and you know, not only us going through problems, but our families can go through problems too. So we end up moving to a space where our head is overstimulated, and it causes even difficulty sleeping. And we end up in that Nine of Swords energy. It's unfounded fear because they're telling us to be scared. We can't sleep. It's mainly why I avoid the news for I don't know how many years. It's not that I don't know what's going on, it's that I avoid other people's version of the world, because this also creates problems in manifesting. Because you're like, oh, okay, I've planted my seeds and oh, they haven't grown today. Look, the world's still a bad place. Because then it keeps us in the lower vibration, right? So this is, again, why I say step away from social media for a little bit. Not to mention that everybody's posting snapshots of their life and it looks fantastic, and you can then say again, well, if I'm a chosen one, why is my life not be fantastic and theirs is? Well, that's just a snapshot of time, right? I'm sure you could take a picture of yourself smiling and put the caption, anything you want it to be. Not everybody is going to be constantly, happy and things like that. But if we're getting this information off social media that everybody else is constantly happy and the news is telling us, everything is constantly negative out there, it has an impact. About 2 years ago, I think it was, I put on my channel a challenge to give yourself 30 days of not taking in other people's information and putting time and work into your own goals, right? So if we're wasting, I digressed, sorry. But if we're wasting those 1 to 8 hours, even if we feel like we're not going to do anything that day, in those places, those 8 hours could have been spent doing watering your seeds, working towards your goals, looking for a job, planning to travel. And this is the main thing. Once we clear that out of our energy, we can absolutely start moving forward and seeing improvement. Like I said, there's those around you, and just because you've got onto this path of wanting to raise the vibrations, wanting to be true to yourself, it doesn't mean that you won't attract people towards you that don't want those things for you. When you're light attracts everything, right? So of course you'll have these negative people coming towards you. And like I said, if you can get through this and, it's not a message of shouting and trying to keep your 3D, if you like, consciousness stimulated, but it's a message to awaken your 5D consciousness and stop working from your subconscious, because all those messages go directly into your subconscious. And can you imagine if I was scrolling for 8 hours, how much went into my subconsciousness? And like I said, it's not that they post things that you don't like. They are absolutely posting things you like. They're absolutely going to be posting what you want. And it's the same with us readers, right? There's going to be some that you like, some that you don't. And, you've got to find which soul tribe you're in, right? And hopefully get to the right one. Because there's so many as well that have been put out there for a reason as a character to keep this stimulating thing going. There's everything in balance, right? There's always this side that is trying to lift us up and a side that's trying to bring us down. And it's not that we should battle each other. It's more that we should stay on track on our own thing and not go to attack other people. I think that's something maybe for the side that is bringing the light side down. So I feel like, yeah, just stay on track with whatever your calling is. And if you don't know what your calling is, it is because of this overstimulated, environment that we're in. We want instant messages. I remember thinking back that I only wanted to order from a certain company because I wanted next day delivery. Right? I remember thinking, oh no. And I would waste a day looking for next day delivery, and then it would come the next day. But what if I would have just ordered straight away? Then it would have come in the same amount of time anyway. We get tricked into thinking everything should be instant. And what, if you're still here, is the message I wanted to give is those who give up on relationships, we'll start with first. Those who are giving up on relationships with you is because of this mental stimuli. They want things instant, and they think things can be replaced instant. There's no sort of attention staying and things like that. There's no sort of seeing worth in things that go on for a long time, because that's what's being taught and that's the agenda that's being pushed. If you see even the kids programs, they're constantly flashing bright colors over and over again to keep them in. So it keeps everybody in this childlike state where they want to be stimulated over and over again, but not accountable for their own actions. They'll then turn around and say, hey, you're doing this and you're doing that, and they fail to see that anything they're doing is an issue. This is just the message I got today. I'm not saying there's no other issues. I'm just saying this is the message I got today, and I put it this far into the video to make sure the right ones get it, because it is only for a chosen few. So the reason they are giving up is because they see no value in something that is long term, when they don't have to work to go with another person. They can just be themselves and quickly move on. And we are taught that, okay, if a person doesn't see your value, quickly exit. And I'm going to tell you the difference between these two, so don't worry. Quickly exit and just move on to the next one. Because when we break down relationships and we break down men and we break down women, we break down the family, and then we break down community. So then we all end up feeling isolated, alone and depressed. And I think this message came to me because of with it being Aquarius season and then the full moon in Leo, it really wanted us to be bold, be brave, and take huge steps to making cuts of people out of our life that are not serving us. And the people who are not working on themselves spiritually, get that message and probably ghost, because the other and the flip side of that message is it's wanting us to open up to our heart chakra. We always say, oh, Leos have got a big heart, and Aquarians are humanitarians. They're not just, cold as ice and very logical. They are actually very caring and very, very kind. And it was to open our heart chakra this full moon. But a lot of people would have took it to ignore people, to be very ice cold and distant from people, and maybe even quite fiery and stuff. You know, taking that passion and putting it into the headspace may come out as anger. Take that passion and put it into heart space, comes out a lot different, doesn't it? So that's the sort of, this is why people are ghosting you rather than working it out and working on things and building things and, you know, being accountable. So on the flip side of that, we have people who are working on themselves spiritually, like you guys. And the information you guys get told is to, like I said in the beginning, if somebody is not recognizing your worth, then we need to step away, right? We're not ghosting, it's stepping away, so that we can reevaluate, so that you can, you know, set healthy boundaries, regroup yourself, and, you know, heal yourself. But what might end up happening is you might fall back into the trap of chasing, so that the swords, they want us to speak and think, so you can end up overthinking and overspeaking. And like I say, if you've been watching those instant reels, then you might end up in the 9 of Swords and you're not sleeping at this time with that airy energy, and maybe frustration building up with the Leo energy combined, and you know, getting quite angry, which leads you to chase and make people be accountable. So you might be saying, hey, no, look at me. So that's the effect that moon would have had on you. If you was working through your spirituality, somebody ghosts you, you might end up with that look at me side of the Leo full moon in Aquarius. You know, when we've said Leos like to be the center of attention. So you guys might end up like communicating, hey, take notice, you gotta answer me, look at me, do this, do that. But it's like the other side may have taken it a lot easier because they're not working on themselves and being accountable to do that stepping away, but they're doing it in a way that, I always say ghosting is quite abusive, to be honest. I feel like it's really abusive to ignore somebody and devalue them by not giving them any sort of answer. I mean, there's, again, we can go into it, there's layers of it, right? If we've said all we can say and that person is still doing whatever, then you can very, what's the word, very in your, you know, conscience, step away in good conscience that you've done all you can. If you haven't done all you can, that's when it becomes a negative and ghosting, right? Just to explain that out there so people don't get the wrong information about, hey, no, you can step away and not talk to people. Of course you can. That's what I'm explaining. Doing it in such a positive way will benefit you. So, chosen ones, at this time, you have been under attack, and it's mainly around family, friends, neighbours, people in very close proximity to you, and that is because it's the 5th house that's lit up. So we can be going, the 5th house is about sex, pleasure, family, siblings, those sorts of things. So you might have even been getting the negative side of that. And it's because when we're going through, like I said in the beginning, this spiritual work where we think, oh no, I just met this person while on my spiritual path, so they must be good and of high value, right? So you might again have fell into the trap of the comfort because you'd already been through your spiritual awakening. But that's not a problem. We will go into Pisces season very soon, and the veil for us will be lifted. It has been a tough time, and I do want to tell you guys to hang in there. I do want to tell you guys, get one of my planners as well. let me see, let me show you guys. Dream it, wish it, do it. Mine's actually here. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys, just for those who stayed. I'm gonna show you. Mine's actually here. And I didn't know I needed it. A friend of mine gifted me it. And I was like, I don't need this right now. I've got a lot going on. But yeah, I did need it. I did need it. So I needed a reminder that I'm wasting time on, you know, things that I shouldn't be wasting time on. I'll just show you quickly. Yeah, I'll show you quickly. Don't pause, guys. Don't pause and look at my stuff. But yeah, that's just mine there very quickly. I know the guys were saying to me, why have I only got the pink ones? Sorry guys, I really did just like think I want to get it out there to help people and things like that. So a gratitude book as well, guys, that I've got at the moment for sale, as I'm setting up my website and be the best version of you. Let's show you inside. I didn't plan to do this in this video, but hey, you guys deserve it first. So we have stickers in here like that was going in mine, and it is this beautiful like suede material. I think it's not real suede, but it feels like suede. We don't like animal cruelty. But it's 2022 and 2023. So if you want to, you can pause on any videos because this wasn't part of the plan. So let me show you all the pages here. I don't know why I'm on this rose gold thing at the moment, but I am. What I'm recording on is rose gold. My laptop is rose gold. I just manifested a new phone, a new house, a new laptop. So it has, you know, days where you can put it in. It has a budget planner. You know, it has a monthly review where you can look back and where you wasted time, why you think that you didn't, you know, get the things done that you wanted to, what stopped you. Don't tell them, but mine was my kids. They monopolized my time. Yeah, maybe like you guys, but yeah, sorry, again, I'm digressing. But like I said, I manifested a new phone. I haven't even had a chance to open it, guys. That's so terrible, right? But yeah, I went from, I told you guys I was homeless, right? And I was homeless because I wanted a brand new built home. I just had it in my mind that, hey, no, I want this house that's just new built. Ta-da! I got it. If you can see out the window that they haven't even finished the land outside yet, but you know, it has a big drive and thing at the side there. But yeah, so settling, giving up, or having things instantly, you have instant peace that also instantly disappears. But if you stick it out and you go the distance and you do the work to building your relationships, and part of building is, hey, we're not going to work on the relationship today. We're going to have a day off, or today we're going to have fun, or you know, tomorrow we'll check on each other. Something like that, right? It can be anything you want. But every day isn't about laying a brick. Some days we've got to fit the windows. Some days we've got to paint the house. And I'd really forgotten that it's actually important to take care of yourself on the, I wouldn't say on the outside, but you know, getting your hair and stuff done. Those things are important, and this period just taught me that as well. So you know, sometimes it is time to decorate, and sometimes it is time to lay the foundation, and sometimes it is time to work and things like that, right guys? And getting that book really helped me anyway, so that's why I did that anyway. because it really, really helped me to regain focus. And it's what I needed. Even me, guys, I always get, asked, well, why did you get off track? And how come you was homeless? Because I wasn't settling for anything less than what I desired, the seeds that I'd planted. So I wasn't settling for anything less. Yes, I could say, okay, I'm going to go into a different house that I don't like, that I don't want, and then I have to manifest myself getting out of it. Or I could wait and get what I actually wanted. So sorry if it's a bit echoey in here. I'm yet to fill it, but I hope you guys got the message. The chosen ones, don't think that your blessings are not coming. They are. Miracles take a little bit longer than settling does. Good luck, guys.